everybody, welcome to my channel. My name's Mel. Thank you so much for joining me today for the Shadow and Bone challenge. So for those of you that don't know, this week is the Because We Can readathon. This is a readathon that happens twice a year and is run by Kat from Brews and Reviews, Jenna from Just a Little Bit Random, and Kat from Stars and Embers. I will link all their channels plus the readathon itself channel in the description below so you can go and check out all the information. But basically how this works is that in addition to reading challenges, we also have creative challenges that we need to complete throughout the week. Obviously, if we want to. So there's one for every single day of the readathon. The readathon always has a particular theme. This time around the theme is Netflix, and all of the creative challenges are based around particular television programs that have been created by Netflix. So as the name suggests, this is the Shadow and Bone TV show challenge. So what we have to do for this one is actually, rather than specifically looking at Shadow and Bone, we need to look at the Six of Crows characters. So what the creators have said is that in the television program Shadow and Bone, the Six of Crows characters who are from Six of Crows were inserted into Shadow and Bone. And so what we need to do is we need to find a book and talk about what we think would happen when those characters were inserted into that book. I have to admit that I have not read Six of Crows. I've owned it for a while. I actually got it not last BWC, but the one before, because I won their giveaway. So each time you create one of the creative challenges, that puts you as an entry into the giveaway, and I was one of the people that won. And so I requested this book, and I haven't read it yet. I've been meaning to, I just haven't got around to it yet. But I did watch the TV show Shadow and Bone, so I am familiar somewhat with the Crow characters. So obviously, if you've watched the show, you know that we have Kaz Brennan, we have Inej, and we have Jesper. Possibly there are other crows. Like I said, I haven't read this book, I'm not sure, but those are the characters that I will be inserting into another book for this challenge. So the other book that I will be inserting the crows into, I actually got two books to show you, because I'm not inserting it into this one. I'm inserting it into the second one, which I'll show you in a second. But I have chosen to go with the series, the Gentleman Bastard series. The first one of which is The Lies of Locke Lamora. The second one of which is Red Seas Under Red Skies. This is a series by Scott Lynch. The reason I've chosen to go with this series is because I've heard a number of different people compare Six of Crows to The Lies of Locke Lamora, because the crows are a bunch of thieves and the Six of Crows book is apparently them doing a big major heist. The characters in The Lies of Locke Lamora are a bunch of thieves, and this book is all about a massive heist that they are doing. So I've decided to insert the Six of Crows characters, who are thieves, into the series, the Gentleman Bastard series. I'm actually not going to insert them though into The Lies of Locke Lamora, because that is a big heist, I should say, that the characters are attempting to undertake in this series, in this book. And it's kind of already underway when we enter the book, and we learn about the characters and their heist as we go along. So I wouldn't necessarily say that crows entering into, I mean, it would be interesting to see what would happen if they entered into a heist already underway, but going to actually insert them into Red Seas Under Red Skies. Now, the reason for that is because this is the aftermath of what happened in The Lies of Locke Lamora. I'm not going to go into spoilers. I'm going to try and say everything being spoiler free, but things don't go according to plan in The Lies of Locke Lamora, shall we just say. Yeah. This is the aftermath of that. And so I think it would be really interesting to see what would happen once our main characters are forced to be in a very different situation than they had intended to be. What would happen if a bunch of crows, like I said, bear in mind, I haven't read this one, but if a bunch of other thieves who are the kind that do big heists came along and interacted with Locke and Jean, would they be helpful? Would Locke and Jean fit in with the crows? How would that go? Having said that I haven't read The Six of Crows, but I've seen Shadow and Bone. I tend to think it wouldn't go very well. Kaz Brennan in particular, I don't think would work very well with Locke. I think they would clash. Locke being the kind of mastermind behind the Gentleman Bastards and Kaz Brenner being the mastermind behind the Crows. Yeah, I just really don't think that would work very well. I think they would clash. I think that they'd both try to take control of this newly formed group and both fail rather dramatically at taking control. So I think it would all become all about Locke and Kaz. Although I suppose if it all became all about Locke and Kaz and they were kind of off doing their like competitive thing, that might actually leave Jean, Inej and Jesper to be able to actually run a heist without the other two interfering. And that potentially would work relatively well. I do think that if that were the case, those three, I think Inej would actually probably be the one that would run things. Jean is very practical and Jean gets Locke out of difficult situations, but he's really not a leader. He definitely follows Locke. He definitely, so I think that he would appreciate having a leader. Jesper, I think, would potentially want to try being a leader, but ultimately I do think that he is a follower. But also he just, I don't think, has the mastermind mind, if that makes sense. I mean, from what I can tell from the book, again, from the TV show, again, he is quite intelligent, he's definitely capable, but I just don't know that he's capable of leading a group. Whereas Inej, I feel like, is very capable of that. I feel like she was very underutilized as a Crow, and I'm sure that there are all sorts of things between her and Kaz and as the Crows in general to do with loyalty and what friends owe to each other and all of that sort of thing. So I'm sure that there's other stuff going on under the surface of the sort of just heist situation. But I think that nonetheless, she was very underutilized, certainly in the TV show Shadow and Bone. So I think that she'd actually make a really good leader. So potentially if Locke and Kaz were off having their competition, that could work reasonably well. But as a whole, I think it would be Locke and Jean against the Crows. And I just don't know who would come off best. Could they have a competition? I mean, that could be fun. A heist competition. Which group wins? That could actually work really well. I think they're actually a really fun book. Should I maybe write some kind of fan fiction? The Crows versus the Gentleman Bastards? Can someone write that? I think that would be really fun. I mean, obviously I need to read Six of Crows before I can actually write such a thing, but I'm gonna go with that. I'm gonna go with let's pit them together and see what happens. I don't know the answer, but I think it'd be fun to find out. Stay tuned. So let me know in the comments what you think of what I ended up eventually coming up with. Do you agree? Would that be a really interesting competition? Who do you think would win? Who do you think would get away with things? Who do you think would pull off the best heist? Do you think the Crows or do you think Locke and Jean? I'd really love to know. So please comment all of that. If you have read any of these books, please do let me know that as well. If you have a different version of where you would insert the Crows, whether it be because you've done a creative challenge yourself or whether it just be because you'd like to write down a book in the comments, please do all of that. Let me know if you've done a creative challenge, etc. If you would like to leave me a comment but you don't know what, then please leave me something that indicates a heist. So some kind of weapon or potentially some kind of mask emoji in the comments below as well. All of my social media details are listed in the description below, so if you'd like to go and follow me on any of those other platforms, please feel free to do so. Thank you so much for watching. I really do hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, I would absolutely love it if you would subscribe to my channel and give this video a thumbs up. And yeah, like I said, thank you so much for watching. I really do hope you enjoyed this video, and I will see you next time.